Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another special edition of Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And I just want to start the show by saying that I wish everyone in Texas and Florida very safe. It's horrible what's going on right now, and I just hope that everyone is, safe with their families and friends, and that I hope that the hurricanes will, cease and just stop. It's just horrible, and I have family there, so it's like it's a very emotional time for everybody. So I just want to make sure that everyone is just safe. Okay, so guys, on a lighter note,
I'm sorry, but I got to add into that prayers to the people in the Virgin Islands and the surrounding islands, the BVIs. They've been completely devastated, as I mentioned earlier. Kenny Chesney is taking point down there. He's well known down there, and he has Send Love for Love Island. St. John is also known as Love City. So, please, these people are there. They have no way to get in or out. They have no way to get food and water, and their supplies are coming in. But please look up Kenny Chesney and think of the Virgin Islands also. And yes, and that goes out to the people in Florida and everywhere else that this is about to hit.
Yeah, I mean, usually this show is about, it's really fun and laid back, but because of what's happening in Texas and Florida, we all know people that are down there right now, and our hearts go out to everyone and their families. So yeah, welcome back to Under the Radar, and with me today is actor, wrestling manager, and politician, Mr. Brud Anderson. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. We're doing real good.
Yeah, thanks for making the time.
I love it. That's part I like making time, but it's always a pleasure to come up to New York, and so thank you for giving me a reason.
Yeah. So you're actually running for mayor of Morrisville, Pennsylvania.
That is correct. Yes.
Interesting. Tell everybody about the campaign. What's going on?
So we got 57 days until the general election, November 7th. And I've learned a lot in the last 9 months. I know that our town, we have amazing riverfront property. We have a historical town. If you look it up, there's two people that came from my town that signed both the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. William Penn, who I'm sure you've heard of, made the first ever land deal in Morrisville, Pennsylvania. And I could go on with little things like that. But there's a sense of negativity that I'm getting from everybody I speak to. And I felt it myself before I even started this. So on top of my original journey of making sure we bring more festive events to our unutilized riverfront property, I've now learned that there's a lot of other things that need to be addressed and changed. We need to have a more bipartisan attitude. People need to get along, not get at each other. We need to build each other up, break people down. And to put it in perspective, this is a town of less than 9,000 people. So we're all neighbors. This is not a statewide election where you don't know the people you're representing. We have 2 council people from each ward. We have 4 wards. These are all neighbors at the end of the day. And that's how we have to start treating each other. So, and that's why that's one of the many reasons I'm running for mayor.
Wow. When did you get inspired to do this?
So it's interesting. I was first inspired about 10 years ago, and it kind of got on the back burner. I knew somebody by the name of Brud who became mayor in Florida. And I had met him a few years prior, was following him, and he ended up becoming mayor. And I just kind of thought to myself, hey, what if I try that someday? Never really thought about it much, again, until a few years ago. And then last year I really got serious when I started paying better attention to what was going on in my town and knowing that I had the time and the energy to help and to do something.
something for your campaign slogans. This Brud's for you.
So my biggest one is we're saying unity for the community, and I'm hashtagging it everywhere. And that goes right to what I was saying before. We want to stop treating each other like Republicans and Democrats and independents, and we want to treat each other like neighbors. And that's what unity for the community is all about.
Nice. So obviously you wear many hats. Before the campaign, you were a wrestling manager and an actor. Are you still involved with the arts?
So I am. I mean, I'm clearing my schedule for now. I do have an event next Saturday in Feasterville, Pennsylvania for Battleground Championship Wrestling. So I do. It's something I'll always do. It's part of me. As a manager and commentating and stuff like that, it's something I'll be able to do the rest of my life. The workers, their time is limited in the ring. I'm able to keep doing it. And I feel like I have a lot of positive influence in the locker room and with the fans, so it's something that's very rewarding to me. A lot of the shows, as you know, are done for a charitable purpose.
Right.
Again, something that I love and I'll continue to do. And acting, I just I just worked on an episode of The Blacklist. I recently worked on a documentary about 9/11, which is very close to, my heart and a lot of people's. I was in New York September 12th, like a lot of people, yeah. And that's a tough day for me and a lot of people. And so working on that documentary was just amazing because it's always been a soft spot in my heart since the day it happened. So that'll be coming up that's a Hulu series that'll come out on. So I'll continue to do little projects like a lot of actors in my position. I'm blessed enough to be in the union, and my union doesn't get involved in political campaigns, by the way. They refuse. That's a misconception because actors are very outspoken. Actors and actresses are very outspoken. So SAG itself does not get involved in any way, shape, or form in politics. And that's important to me. Okay. Because there's a lot of union money flowing around my town and from people who don't live there. But yeah, so I'll continue to do those projects. And like people in my position, I'm waiting for that big role, that big show, and you shaking off trees, right?
Yeah. You mentioned that you were the stand-in for the Bruce Wayne and Martha Wayne's murderer.
Yeah,
in Gotham.
That was one of my favorite, and it's a funny story too. But first of all, it's one of my favorite things because whenever you see Batman, anything, they almost always show that scene.
Yeah,
and I relived that day. It was an 18-hour work day. And and the scene was 5 minutes.
And they filmed in Manhattan.
Yes.
Nice.
And it was just so incredible to be part of that iconic scene. And I left that day and I missed the train. And by the way, that day, Gotham's page that day, this was for the pilot. So their Facebook page had 336 likes that day. It has over 3 million now. Right. So I get to the train station and I had missed my train. So I call my wife and I'm excited, right? I said, "You're not going to believe the day I had. I did the stand-in work for the thug that killed the Wayne's parents." And then I said, "And my fingerprints are all over the murder weapon." And she said, "Where are you?" I said, "Penn Station." And she suggested maybe I shouldn't yell that out loud.
Good idea.
Yeah. But it's just, that, while it, wasn't a glorious role, I didn't see myself in that position. I was just a stand-in, but just being there, and it's just a great memory. I love that I was featured on all 3 seasons of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And I don't know. I love entertaining, so I really, no matter what job I go to, I really do thoroughly enjoy it. I loved being on set.
So do you have are you passionate about one position or the other? Like, is it politician, wrestling, acting? What do you, or are they all equal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been an entertainer most of my life, so that's not going to stop. But politics is not entertaining. This is people's lives, and I understand the difference. There's going to be people that try to say that I don't understand the difference, but I do. This is people's lives. And while at the end of the day, after I'm elected mayor, I do want to bring more entertainment to our town, but politics is no games. This is no joke. These are people's lives, and I understand that, and I'm taking it very seriously. But with that being said, yeah, I'm going to continue to entertain. I love it.
Just trying to balance both. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. So, what are your goals as mayor?
So, like I said already, I want to bring in more festivities and events. And when I do that, I want to do something a little differently than what's being done currently. I want to make sure that, first of all, there's plenty of events, but there also has to be a coordinator. So these things can be paid for not by the taxpayers. There can be sponsors. As mayor, I am confident I can get people to sponsor events. There should also be a charity, and it should be a local one. And that's something that I'm going to mandate in all these events. But then there's a lot of other things that I just need to address. And listen, as mayor, the biggest thing I have is a voice. I'm the voice of the people who will elect me in. And one of my goals also is, like I told you earlier, there's a negative vibe in town. And you can see it when you go to a council meeting. Okay. And that's something that I would like to say, I think I have the people skills to stop. I can get everyone to get along no matter their party affiliation. Are we always going to agree? Absolutely not. But we can agree to disagree and do what's best for the town, not our agendas.
So people are are you saying they're selfish, individualistic?
No, I don't categorize people that way. I'll leave that to someone else. No, I don't think. I think everybody who is on council, running for council, I think their heart's in the right place. Mm-hmm. But I think there's nobody being that voice of reason saying, all right, we don't have the same opinion, but let's work it out and let's do what's best.
Band together.
And that's something that vibe just trickles throughout the town. When people come to a council meeting with an issue and it's, are we going to solve every issue? Of course not. But let's take that person aside and see what we can figure out so that person doesn't go away discouraged and never come back with another complaint. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to in town that will no longer go to the municipal building with a complaint because of the way they were treated. And I don't want anyone in town to ever feel like that again.
So that's amazing. What about your competition? How's that looking?
So my competition is the current mayor. He's been in office for almost 10 years. And he promised things like bipartisanship, transparency, and to be honest, a laundry list of other things that he just hasn't delivered on. And while I know he has his supporters, and that's fine, but how many years can we just wait for these things to happen? It's been almost 10 years in office. If he's elected again, it'll be 14. And at what point do we hold him accountable? I say it's now. I have a lot of people, and this is true, I have a lot of people that want to vote me in, but I'm also meeting people that simply want to vote him out.
Okay, wow.
And there's other mayors in our area.
Some hostility.
Well, there's a lot going on in my town. If you look, there's other areas, there's other mayors in my area that have been indicted. And I'm not saying that's related to my town in any way, but what I'm saying is people are just tired of the same old promises and not having the delivery.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So it's sort of a negative question, but if not elected, what would you just continue with the wrestling and the acting?
Yes, but now that I've learned what I have over the last year, elected or not, I will be a big voice in my community from this day forward, the rest of my life.
Sounds great. Okay, well, back to film.
Okay.
Is there anything you've seen lately that you'd like to, tell people about?
I absolutely wish I had time to watch a film recently. No.
Good answer.
No, I'll catch one in December.
All right. That's anything off the top of your head?
I did get caught up on one thing. It's not a film. I caught up on this season's re-entry of Prison Break that they brought back season 5.
Okay.
They brought back a 9-episode series, and I enjoyed it. But I just, the truth is, unfortunately, as much as I love the arts, it's just not a priority. I have to. My priority is the research I've been doing, and that's all about to become evident, whether it's on my website, brudanderson.com, or whether I come to your door and you ask me whatever your question you want, or whether you make an appointment and come to my home. I have 2 homes on the historical Delaware Canal Path, and I live in one and my office is in the other, and everybody is welcome, as they will continue to be after I'm elected.
Nice. Do you have any family members in the past that have run for office, have been politicians?
Never, no.
So you're the first of your family?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think it surprised a lot of them.
Right.
Yeah. And I really am looking forward to it. I've done a lot of things. Coming up and spending so many years in the wrestling business, we all know that's not a career. So I did other things. I worked in a restaurant. It taught me people skills. I worked on construction sites, non-union. But getting trades to work together on multiple projects, on multiple locations, working with the vendors, all these little skills that I've learned, working with people in locker rooms, working with people on set, the patience, the professionalism that it takes. I've realized that all these little things that I've learned from these different places have given me the skills to do what I'm going to do in this town. And that's the one thing I question. Do I have the experience? And I realize that I do. I don't just have the people skills. I have the experience.
Great. Well, I wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thank you. But yes, I will continue to take acting jobs, and I will just, because as I said, it's a historical town, and I want to use that as a platform to let the whole world know it.
What is the arts situation right now in Morrisville?
So we do have one small theater.
Okay.
which is it's a great program, and I support it, and hopefully it'll stay there for a long, long time. Other than that, right, we have a jazz fest they do once a year.
Cool.
There's not a whole lot. They do the Labor Day picnic. They do a couple other things, but it's like I was saying earlier, we have riverfront property. And so in our area, that means a lot. There's a little town called Bristol Borough right down the street from us. And this is a town that knows how to use their riverfront property. In fact, just last year, they won a $500,000 business grant, not just for what they do on the riverfront, but because of the way they manage that little town. So we're looking at this. I'm looking at this riverfront property as just so unutilized.
Okay.
And
you would want to
can't understand why.
Maybe another theater or like a festival type of space.
We've got a nice stage. We have the venues, we have the theater, we have the stage. I don't think anything needs to be added other than more things for people to do.
Okay, interesting.
But it has to be done in the right way. It has to be sponsored or paid for, not by the taxpayers, and it has to benefit some sort of local charity. I mean, that's the way I've done most of the events I've ever worked with.
Now, do you have someone who works for you, like maybe an arts person or a publicist who can help with that?
I do not. That's a good question, though, because someone else just asked me that yesterday. So these are, once I'm elected in November, then I'm going to figure out who I can work with to do an event calendar for 2018. Okay. And that's when we'll start listing events, and just being organized. Who can run it? Where's the money going to come from? Where's the charity? Where's the donation going to go to? And we'll make a calendar for the year. Not something I'm going to do right now. My priorities are getting out and getting to know people and doing the research I'm doing. But in November, after I'm elected, that's one of the things I'll be doing, is making next year's event calendar. So my fellow neighbors have a lot more to do.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to that.
Thank you.
Good luck with the election.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Brud. This has been awesome.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Cool. So, guys, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back with the film review segment. Everyone's a critic. Stay tuned.
What's my name? What's my game? What's my name? What will you call me? Happy to make your acquaintance. Happy to make your acquaintance. Happy to make your acquaintance. What's my name? What's my game? 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 What's my name? What will you go with?
And we're back. I'm Randy Younger. This is Under the Radar. And this is our special film review segment, Everyone's a Critic. And with me again is Mr. Josh Yoder.
Hey, everybody.
And Maia Ceballos. Ceballos. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Josh is actually a recurring guest at this point, the second appearance, and the first guest to do that, which is pretty awesome, I must say. So,
Thank you.
And also worth mentioning, we are all part of the charity organization, the New York City Ghostbusters, where we go to events, Comic-Cons, libraries, and schools and teach kids how to make slime. It's basically a chemistry education. And we also go to random events too, like marching in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Boston, which was amazing.
And cold.
Yeah,
Very cold.
Very cold. Freezing, actually. But we got through it. We powered through it, and we saved the day.
Yeah, we did.
Cool. So, all right, we're going to be reviewing 3 movies today. Not the greatest movies.
Definitely
No.
not.
But you know what? They
each had their own unique character.
charm,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. That's
Right.
the best way to word it.
Yeah. But you know, these movies were sent to me, and not all of them are terrible. But I actually kind of like the first one. I know you guys. I heard some chatter that you didn't.
No, when you first went, is this the which
Which one
Gun
was
Shy or
this
Trek?
I'm gonna start with Gun Shy.
Gun Shy, okay.
Yeah.
Gun Shy.
So basically,
Antonio
Banderas,
Banderas.
yes. Antonio Banderas, he plays a washed-up rock star who goes on vacation with his wife in South America, only that she gets kidnapped later on, and then Antonio Banderas has to spring into action and try and rescue her.
And llamas. Llamas play
Some
a
llamas
big part
too.
in this film too.
Yeah. So guys, what'd you think of this one?
It seemed like it tried too hard to be kind of one of those quirky, off-the-wall comedies, and
Yes.
yeah.
I didn't understand the man with the heavy Spanish accent saying he doesn't speak Spanish.
Yeah, he kept saying he was from England.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I
at one
know.
point he said his parents are from Spain. So, but still, it was a little strange.
But it was, I know they were trying to be funny. It just wasn't quite working for me.
Yeah.
And then the whole crazy neurotic rock star thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of
Too much.
And the
Yeah.
government agent who basically
Yeah.
goes nuts.
The
And
straight laced guy.
Yeah, when he's trying to tell Antonio Banderas that as a private citizen he can't pay the ransom for his wife, which I'm pretty sure you can.
Yes.
There were some
And,
plot holes.
yeah, it's-
But I liked Martin Dingle Wall. He played the Australian bounty hunter guy.
oh, with the fake teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was kind of funny.
When they did the whole shrimp scene. And,
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. He was allergic to shellfish, and his face is all puffy.
Yeah.
In this
There's a fight scene that involves shrimp.
right. Yeah, that's all you got to say about
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
And an octopus.
Yeah, but you know what? I know it's an awful movie, but I thought it was cute.
I wouldn't go awful. I'd
Yeah.
do maybe half of the first awful.
Yeah. Okay.
I would go awful.
Really? all right. So it's not on your radar.
I'll put it around Spy Kids. If you liked Antonio Banderas and Spy Kids.
That's like an Oscar-worthy.
Yeah,
film,
yeah.
what it is.
Definitely.
But I thought it was cute. I mean, like I watched, and like I was still kind of digesting it that night. But then, like when I woke up the next day, I'm like, it wasn't that awful. It was kind of cute.
I was wondering if they were actually going to build on that relationship with the little boy.
Oh,
And
beer,
giving him
beer.
the beer, yes.
Yeah, like he would have saved the day later on.
Yeah, but then it just became like this, just some random kid
Yeah.
sells beer, and then
Didn't even sell it.
apparently,
Yeah.
Just had it.
no, he just gave
He
it
just
to him.
gave him
He's just
cans of
walking around
beer.
with a cooler.
You expected him to like show up at the end and like save the day or something.
Right.
No, it just the character kind of just disappeared.
Yeah.
And I was wondering too if like at the ending credits they had the musical sequences with Antonio Banderas, and I was wondering if that originally was more part of the film as kind of a music interweaving the music with the show,
Yeah.
and they just kind of cut it out at the end.
Yeah,
you
it's a
know?
deleted scene probably.
Yeah.
They just added
like
it in
like the new Ghostbusters. They
Yeah.
ripped it out and put it in the
They
credits.
do that a lot
Yeah.
now. It's like the thing after credits, during the credits. Yeah, but whatever. Also worth noting, Simon West directed this. He directed Con Air. So I don't know if that
Really?
changes your
Oh,
opinion
okay.
about it.
Doesn't change the opinion, but it definitely is interesting information because
Right.
I never would have thought that the guy that did Con Air would do this.
I know. It's a
So
little random.
it is very random.
Yeah. But
What was the name of the band? The Teenage Butt Patrol?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that the band?
that was the
That
band.
the song?
Teenage Butt Patrol. I think it was the song and the
That
band.
was like the most popular song they had.
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas is a band's name, or is that the song name?
I think that was the
The
song.
song.
I thought it was
Teen Butt Patrol.
Teenage Butt Patrol.
Yeah.
They had a whole song for it.
Yeah.
That's,
They could have expanded on it. They could have made I think with a different screenplay, maybe it would have been better.
yeah. If you tweaked it a bit,
Mhm.
yeah.
It has potential. So I liked it personally, but it's on my radar,
Mhm.
not on yours.
No.
Sort of
On
yeah.
it. I can
Yeah.
detect it.
It's on mine, but not very high.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, if you want to see a really stupid Antonio Banderas movie where he plays a washed-up rock star, go see Gun-Shy. It's I believe it's out right now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, movie one down. Next up, Beyond the Trek.
Oh,
If you took every single cliche from a sci-fi science movie and
It's so
jammed
bad.
it into one,
Yeah, it's actually there's another title for it, Telios, which is the name of the ship.
or I was going to say,
Yes,
I
that's
was going to
actually
say,
the title that
AKA, I raped a robot.
That too, or just
but
crap.
was it the robot that really raped him? Because the robot was the one that actually did the change. That's what
No
I was
spoilers,
so
I did. Okay, yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah, okay.
I was so confused.
Oh, this movie's so awful.
Yeah.
So basically, it's about a group of really good-looking Star Trek wannabe crew members
Yeah.
who find there's like a distress signal, and then they have to go out into space and find the source of the signal.
And they're like genetic superhumans.
Yeah. It's the the future, and they play like genetically modified human beings. So they're like perfect human beings, and they go out after the ship to get precious cargo, retrieve the cargo, and some weird stuff happens. Weird, but not very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you notice too? And I guess it's the whole point of like trying to simulate space. I swear, every single scene, the camera was moving.
Yeah,
It was
Oh,
either
yes.
it would either like turn
It's on an
or it
angle.
would slide,
Yeah.
and by halfway through, it was getting a little nauseous. I'm like, oh god, stop moving, stop.
Not a very good choice.
Yeah.
Of director.
I thought they had a horrible cameraman. I didn't realize that was
That
the
too,
point
probably.
of-
He kept falling asleep, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, why is this doing this?
And the guns that they use, like with the laser rifles that they
Mhm.
had, they look like they were Nerf guns, like
yeah,
Yes.
with like just lights in them. It's just so bad, so low budget,
and the lines are very kind of wooden.
yeah,
Yes.
wasn't good at all.
And that whole thing where they're upset because the one, you and your carnal urges. It's like, okay, we're making out in the shower. It's like,
yeah, so yeah, but they basically were bred to not have really any emotions, really.
yeah,
But they spent the whole beginning part of the movie complaining about regular humans
Yeah,
and all their flaws and all of this. And I'm like, I thought it was supposed to be perfect.
yeah,
But I mean, that's all they were talking about is
Huh.
this imperfection that humans have. And I'm like, well, you're kind of
And-
showing your imperfections.
sort of like a Blade Runner type of theme.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they had
humans
in
are-
there
yeah,
the worst. I mean, the most cliche line I think you can have in any movie. They delivered at the end, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well,
They did the whole, you need to return, tell them our story. I'm like, oh god, you did it, you said it, tell
This
them our
movie-
story.
You know, this movie was on a list of a bunch of movies, and it was on that list that the publicity company sent to me.
Yeah.
It just, yeah.
Now,
I
is this Saban? Is this the Power Ranger company?
No, I think that was Gun-Shy.
Was that
Gun-Shy was Saban.
was Gun-Shy Saban? Okay, yeah.
Saban Films. Yeah. Off topic, I think one of the, it was in the news yesterday, one of the newer Power Rangers from like the late 90s, early 2000s
Mhm.
was arrested for murder.
Oof.
Yeah. I don't know which one it was. It was the Red Ranger in like the late 90s, I think.
No way.
Yeah. It's kind of random. But
Was it with a giant cosplay?
that would have made sense. Wow. But yeah, okay. Back to Beyond the Trek, aka Thelios. I think Thelios is a better title, personally.
Well, it doesn't improve the movie.
No, that's true. That's a very good point.
Does not help the movie.
But I think they even named it Beyond the Trek to like capitalize on the Star Trek name, because the last Star Trek was Star Trek Beyond, Beyond the Trek. It's just so obvious and so this movie. I don't know. Everyone belongs in an Abercrombie Fish commercial instead of this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a total letdown.
And the twist, again, not to give it away to some people who watch it, but the twist at the end, and then the fact that they like needed human blood, and it just seemed very kind of like, well, how do we?
Unnecessary.
Yeah, like the writers were sitting around saying, okay, well, how do we wrap this up?
Right.
This sounds good. Okay, let's do this. Yeah.
I don't know.
I would just say don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Definitely don't watch it.
Last time you will never get back.
And
Galaxy Quest, watch that instead.
Oh my god, so good.
Love Galaxy Quest. Where can we watch that?
We can talk about it right now. No, that's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, sci-fi comedy.
Oh,
well, I'm looking forward to The Orville.
Oh yeah,
yes. I think it starts tonight.
Is it tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
Now I'm afraid though it's Seth MacFarlane is going to be overly goofy. And
that's what
It's possible.
Yeah.
I think he's managed with some things to tone himself down.
Yeah.
So it's possible. But...
He had a good role in the new movie, Logan Lucky.
I wanted to see that.
Steven Soderbergh. It's his new heist film about not the Indy 500, but some kind of NASCAR event.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth MacFarlane plays like sort of a villain, like
and
a British.
Yeah,
villain.
that's with the Daniel Craig.
Daniel also awesome in it, and Adam Driver and Channing Tatum. It's a good cast actually.
Oh, you had me at Channing.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's funny
Am I
too.
the one that's not crazy about Channing Tatum?
You're the one who didn't like Wonder Woman either, so.
Well, tell the world I don't.
There you go.
Yes, I didn't like Wonder Woman.
You didn't like it?
I did not like it. I found it very boring. I
was
felt
a little
it
long.
just dragged on, and I wanted it to be over. And I'm sorry.
I can see the comments below
our
video right now.
Oh no!
I just didn't like the movie.
That's cool. Oh, I thought you were doing like a cat sound.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so Beyond the Trek, it is definitely not on my radar at all, and I think it's unanimous that we did not appreciate this movie at all. It was written by and directed by Ian Truitner, who I've never heard of, and no one will ever hear of after this, and that's a shame. Yeah. But
well, you know what? Some great directors have come from some pretty crappy work at some point.
Yeah,
that's true.
Even Shakespeare wrote that one about Titus, where they make the guys into meat pies and they cut off the woman's hands.
Titus,
even he started there.
Oh, Titus was I remember that was Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, yeah. Weird, dark
really
movie.
Weird,
disturbing.
Really
yeah.
dark.
Alan Cummings was in it too.
I just remember someone was buried in the dirt, like up to their neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then something horrible happened where they would just starve them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go see Titus.
Yeah.
It is. I think that was done by Julie Taymor, the same one who did the costumes for Lion King.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she did the costumes for that.
It.
I think she at least did the costumes.
Yeah.
She might have been involved in the directing. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I remember it being visually stunning, like really well made.
It was.
But the story was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Pies were on Game of Thrones. It
Oh,
works.
but back to directors who start off crappy. John Carpenter did this student film called Dark Star back in like the early 70s. And I was expecting it to be like Alien, but basically it took place in a very small spaceship. I think it was a crew of 2, and they were being terrorized by this like robotic balloon. It was trying to, it was odd, very odd, like a giant red bubble chasing them throughout this small ship. And now it's John Carpenter's like his first movie, a student film from the 70s. But
it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who have they've won the Tony Award and South Park and everything. They started with a movie that their student movie was called Cannibal the Musical. It was the musical version of the story of Alfred Packer, who ate pretty much his entire hiking party. It was out in Colorado, and
when was that?
They were in college, and they released it on DVD maybe about 10 years ago or
I
so.
was about to say,
But
I
it
haven't
is,
watched this.
yeah, it's
Cannibal what?
Cannibal the Musical.
Cannibal.
And it stars the two of them, and such classics as Hang the Bastard is
Yes,
one.
I did
And
watch this.
Spadoinkle.
I need to see this one
Yeah,
right now.
you got to see it. It's terrible, but it's one of those ones you can't stop watching
Yeah.
it
So this
halfway
is like-
through. You got to watch
So
the
this is
whole
their
thing.
first. This is before South Park.
This is way
Yeah.
before.
Way before?
I believe this was like their graduation project
Wow.
from college.
I gotta check. And then
And-
it's on DVD.
Yeah, and the very when you watch South Park and the credits come up at the end for the production company, it's bum 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 bum. That's part of the music from Cannibal the Musical
Nice.
that they made as
How did
students.
you find out about this?
The Latin teacher in the high school across from that I hang out with where I teach.
Oh,
She came up to me one day, and Karen Susdale, and she's like, "You have to watch Cannibal the Musical
Wow.
from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and
All right.
the rest is history."
Sounds like a good one. I'm gonna check that one out for sure. All right, guys, moving on to I actually just saw this last night. Never Let Go. Basically, it's a Taken ripoff about a mother who loses her child while she's on like vacation, and I don't think they ever said where. Was it Morocco?
It's like an ambiguous Middle Eastern city. I think they probably purposely didn't say a name, so they weren't. Yeah.
But anyway, it's basically Taken with a mother and her baby, and she goes after, tries to find out who did it, and she's actually pretty much a badass throughout the whole thing.
She kills like half the Middle East
Yeah.
in the process, and
Yeah, she's like running through the streets barefoot.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But
beating people with tchotchkes,
Shooting.
literally.
yeah. But it's Angela Dixon, who I haven't. She looks familiar, but
She does.
I don't know what I've seen her in though. But what did you guys think of this one?
I was. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want
No.
I heard the
I don't want to.
Go on.
I was. You know what? I didn't. I'm on the fence about it. Like,
Yeah,
I thought it was a good action flick.
sure.
It got a little long at parts, I think.
Yeah.
I still don't. There's some things that they just didn't explain. Like, why was she? Like, did you catch why she was in the Middle East to begin with?
Not
Like,
really.
she's in the Middle
She's,
East.
like there, just
Yeah,
there.
she's there in the Middle East
Right.
in a town that she's very obviously uncomfortable in. She's not, and she's with her baby,
Right, and no one else.
and
just her.
nobody else, just her and her baby in
Yeah.
this. It could be like Islamabad,
Yeah.
and like, why is she there? Why does she have her baby there? She's not happy. She seems very nervous.
And she didn't have her documents in order.
No.
They were just like in her bag. And,
Yeah,
or
left them on the
Not
beach.
even on her.
Yeah.
It was very flimsy in that respect.
And I hate the fact that as soon as they took the baby, I knew what the ending was going to be. Like, I
Yeah.
knew it.
Oh, did you?
I knew it.
Oh, interesting.
As soon as like you started seeing the backstory, I'm like,
No.
this has got to be the ending, and it was
Very good.
It was
Very
the
clever.
ending.
Good detective skills. Mine, what'd you think?
Pretty much the same
Yeah.
thing. If I can figure out what the ending's gonna be, then I'm pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
done with the movie.
All
Well,
right. That's a
Well,
good rule.
you were saying something along the lines of, what is it? She was like somebody took the female Terminator's baby from the third movie. Remember the female Terminator?
I remember, yeah, T3.
Yeah.
The blonde woman is basically like a T1000, but not liquid metal, but just like a more advanced type of metal.
Yeah.
But was she had a baby in that? Like a
No, she didn't have a baby.
No.
But if she did and you took
Oh,
it,
yeah.
that's how she would
That's how
react.
she-
Yeah.
That's very good. I like it. It's kind of an off the wall comparison, but I
Yeah.
like it. But yeah, this movie it was okay.
Yeah, I think that's just it. Okay.
Yeah, right. I think it was the best out of the three,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
I actually would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I mean, they all kind of had their holes,
Yeah.
and there were some things I wish would be different, but overall, I think out of the three, this was the best choice.
Right. And now we're hearing some weird sirens. I don't know.
Disregard the airdrop.
Oh, airdrop.
I want to know where they filmed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if do you think it was in the Middle East?
It's got, I mean, because they obviously didn't have a big CGI budget with the flames and the smoke.
Right.
So it's got to be someplace that, I can't imagine that it's in the U.S.
No, it didn't look like California either. I
No.
don't think. I mean, They could have done the beach in California.
Yeah.
But the scenes in the town, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have enough of a budget to even go to the Middle East to film this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially this type of movie because it is a low budget, relatively low budget. But yeah, basically it is a remake of Taken. You know, and anyone who appreciates a good revenge movie should check this one out.
Yeah.
You know,
if you're going through a divorce,
yeah,
it's not to make light of that, but
right.
This would be a good.
Yeah. It's all right. So Jim, how are we doing on time? Oh, okay.
Another 20 minutes,
Cool.
15 minutes.
Sweet. So yeah, you guys looking forward to anything coming up or in theaters right now?
I think we all saw it.
Yes.
Did we all see it?
Yeah, we all saw it.
That'll be our fourth movie.
I saw as much of it as I could because I have a fear of clowns.
Oh God! Why would you even
So
go?
it was more like one eye was open.
It's like the ultimate clown horror story.
I know, but you know what? I couldn't read the book because it had a clown in it. I couldn't watch the first movie because the clown was in it. So I figured I have to at least try this because people keep talking about it. So I'm like, let me try and watch it.
Right.
Thank God for Dan Hoffman and his makeshift cardboard arm protector.
He literally rolled up cardboard on his
I dug
arm.
my nails
Oh.
into that thing.
Okay.
And
So all three of you went?
no,
like,
I went with Dan.
I went solo.
He went alone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I went with Amanda, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did she like it?
She had a great time, and so did I. You know, it was
I was
fun.
the only one shaking, and
You know what? We were literally shaking because we saw it in 4DK, which is basically like they throw splash water in your face. The sheet
Oh my God.
shakes. There's like flashing light. It's like a whole cinematic experience, like from the 50s. You know.
oh no,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
By that.
It didn't really add much to it except for one scene, and that was remember the scene in the garage with the projector?
Yes.
That's the scene.
That scared the Jesus
Yeah.
out of me.
That was the scariest for me.
When it comes.
Oh my God.
I
Pennywise.
it takes a lot to scare me. I worked in a haunted prison for.
Jesus.
Have you ever heard of Eastern State Penitentiary in
No, but I've
Philadelphia?
heard of the.
Yeah, it's on a lot of the ghost shows, and I was a professional zombie there for their Halloween attraction for 3 years. I was a zombie manager for 4 years. Nothing scared me after that. Nothing. Like I probably jumped in my seat 3 or 4 times in this and got like the full body chills, and I'm like, holy
I
crap!
was in the fetal
Yeah.
position at that point, ready to shed some tears.
Yeah. You know what? It was a really well made horror film. But what I loved about it too was the Goonies Stand By Me aspect of it.
Yes.
That was
And that
Good balance.
the casting of the kids, I
Yeah.
thought was phenomenal.
Richie
Yes.
was like hilarious.
Was which one's the one from
He's-
Stranger Things?
I don't know, but he's got glasses. He had all the one-liners.
That is
He's
the
a
thing.
Stranger Things.
Oh,
kid.
is it?
Yep.
I gotta watch Stranger Things now.
And I thought the little heavyset kid was
Oh.
adorable.
Wasn't
he?
Yeah, he was so
Yeah.
cute.
And they were all really talented.
hmm
Yeah.
And this was only chapter 1.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing them all as 40-year-olds. I'm curious who they're gonna pick for that.
Yeah.
You know, 'Cause
Hopefully, people that are actually 40.
and not too well known like Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. I don't know when that
But
comes
the
out.
guy that played the clown,
Yeah, he was.
oh, that voice. Ugh.
I mean, you can't replace Tim Curry.
Oh,
No matter
And,
what you do.
yeah,
do.
I love
It's
Tim Curry,
creepy.
but
Yeah.
he was still.
He was creepy.
I almost have to go with this Pennywise over him, even though I loved him,
No, but he's a
You know,
lot
I loved him.
scarier than
Yeah.
Curry's version.
because we were looking up, and I think it was probably a good move. It seems like they casted somebody who was relatively unknown in the U.S. We say he was a Swedish,
Yes, he was.
He's a Swedish actor.
Okay.
and
They're all the
I-
whole cast was on.
yeah, it seems like they really focused more on creating a good cohesive cast than throwing in big names
Yeah.
and trying to pull in ticket money on
And
that.
they haven't done that in a long time,
Yeah.
and it works when
It's a
they
good
do
move.
that.
Yeah, because in the original they had a pretty big cast. It was when they did the adult version. One of the adults was from the guy from Night Court.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Harry Anderson.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And John Ritter was also in there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And the woman who played Lana Lang in Superman 3.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty well known
Yeah.
cast. But yeah, I'm hoping that the 40-year-old versions of the kids are unknowns as well. But back to Pennywise. He is just with the
Oh,
drool.
Voice.
Yeah.
And the
Oh.
Hey, Georgie.
He does it really well, and it freaks
Yeah.
me out. It freaks
I
me
want to
out.
hear your Pennywise.
Oh, good. Hey, Georgie, you like the circus?
You're full too.
Can you smell the circus?
Oh God.
There's the peanuts and the cotton candy and the popcorn. You like the popcorn, Georgie? The pop. Oh, don't go without your boat, Georgie. Here, go ahead. Just reach out and
Oh gosh.
take it.
Okay,
There you
we'll
go.
just end there.
Fair enough.
But I actually went on YouTube a couple weeks ago to prepare for the new It by seeing the original, and it's like 3 hours long. It's a miniseries, and I only saw the first like half.
Which is basically the first movie.
Yes, chapter one. But it was really good.
Yeah. And I think, from what I understand, this version involves a lot more of the book.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's more based on the book version, and I think watching it, and I haven't read the book. I'm just kind of assuming some
Yeah,
of
me
the
neither.
stories that were woven in with it, like the woman in the painting and things like that.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that's part of the book, and I thought that really added to it because in this movie, it's not just Pennywise; it's Pennywise and the different incarnations.
Yeah, what the kids fear.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And they actually explain what they mean by "we all float down here." I think we had this conversation.
Did we?
Yeah, there's a line in where they're it's not that you realize in the original series where it's like, oh, it's the sewer, they're floating. There's actually a different meaning to it.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want to give that.
And they
too
don't.
many.
Yeah, we don't want to give that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they explain it in this one, and
Right.
Yeah.
Because in the original, it's just I thought it would be kids just floating in the sewer. But
Yeah.
it's not. It's something else, guys.
Yeah.
You'll see. So let's we got a few more minutes. Speaking of horror, favorite horror movies of all time.
God,
Yeah.
that's hard. Do you have your favorite horror movie?
I gotta say this may be number one.
Uh-oh.
But beyond that, I got really into the movies that were coming out of, I want to say this is back in the early 2000s. It was a production company called Ghost House Productions, and they produced a bunch of kind of throwbacks to those old kind of cheesy horror films, but upped them to kind of the modern day standard.
All right.
And they did like Ghost Ship. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Yeah. Ghost Ship, they did 13 Ghosts with the guy from Monk.
House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill.
I
I
like-
loved House on Haunted
So
Hill.
the remake. With
The remake.
Chris
Yeah.
Kattan.
And what's his face from? He was in the original Rent, I think.
Anthony Rapp.
No, Tay Diggs. Was Tay Diggs in that?
House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was.
That was a fun movie.
I really liked, for a while they were coming out with those, and House on Haunted Hill, like I said, I loved. They did a direct to DVD sequel, which was bad.
Or just
like
House on Haunted Hill 2.
House on Haunted Hill 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out though. Was it
Yeah.
connected in any like? Did
It
they
was
reference?
it was connected. I think the only character that came back was the guy who played the ghost of the doctor.
Okay. Oh, Jeffrey Rush.
No. He was the theme park owner.
Okay. Who's the doctor?
I don't know the actor, but it was the guy who played the doctor who was killed and took over the.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the actor. Man.
But yeah, I really like those. Like I said,
Cool.
I think it may take the number one place.
The new one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bold statement, sir. All right.
That was creepy. The movie that really scared me when I was young was Night of the Living Dead,
The original.
the original,
Nice, good choice.
and it just
Trailblazer.
could not sleep for days.
Yeah.
So I would say that's definitely one of my favorites.
I think I saw it was on at midnight on TV once when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it, but the first 20 minutes alone were creepy enough.
Oh yeah.
It
I didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking, oh, it's black and white.
Yeah, no
It's
blood.
not gonna matter.
It's not gonna.
But then once the movie started going, I was scared, and I was watching it by myself. all alone in the living room on the couch with a blankie,
Yeah.
and it took me quite some time to be able to get up and go to bed, and then I just like had my eyes wide open, just waiting.
Did you
stuff
see
to
the
come.
remake that came out in 1990?
I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't that crazy
No.
about it.
All right.
But I did see it.
It was pretty gory. I liked it.
It
Though.
was. Well, that's what they do now.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
take these classic movies and then they remake them, and they're
Yeah.
super gory. It
Right.
doesn't really add to it.
No, I don't know why they do that.
Is that the one that takes place in the shopping mall?
No,
No, that's the one in the house.
That's
a
Dawn
different-
of the Dead.
That's Dawn of the
Yes.
Dead.
They made-
Because
they
they
had-
remade that one
They
too.
remade that. The first one was from the 70s, and then the remake came out in 2004.
It's like Vin Rames.
Vin Rames was in
Yeah,
the-
it
Yep.
was in the new. Yeah.
Yeah, a horror. It's not. It's sort of like a horror light. It's not that gory. But the original Fright Night.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
it's about a teenager who he witnesses a murder from across the street, and it's his neighbor who plays a vampire. And basically, the vampire is very charming and charismatic, and tries to take his girlfriend and turn her into the undead. And basically, it's really, really well made. You should check it out.
Check that.
They remade it a few years ago with Colin Farrell, which was also decent.
It's not as good.
Not as good. No,
Thank
not nearly.
you.
No.
Thank you. I was just gonna say that. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Right, but it's typical '80s horror, and it's really good.
Are you Evil Dead fan?
Oh yeah,
Have you seen the new series?
I've seen a few episodes. I don't love it because it doesn't have that same
Yeah.
flavor. You know?
I enjoy it,
yeah,
but I'm not.
overly
Yeah.
violent, overly gory. I'm not a fan of that. The originals were gory, but they were cartoonish. It made it fun. And basically, a couple months ago, I went to see midnight screening of Evil Dead 2. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was at the Landmark Sunshine, guys. If you're ever in the downtown area of the city, Landmark Sunshine. I don't know. I just gave a plug for that. But no, it's a great place. So yeah, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, anything Bruce Campbell, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did a movie as well where he played himself. I think it's called like I Am Bruce Campbell, where it's like it interweaves the Evil Dead, but it's like modern day, and he plays himself.
Wait a minute. Yeah. It
Yeah,
came out. He had like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, yeah.
That didn't really get a lot of love.
No, I saw it on Netflix for like 3 weeks, and then it disappeared.
Yeah, I remember when it came out like in 05, 6,
Mhm.
something like that. But yeah, I was expecting so much more, and I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
But I think Bubba Hotep was a lot better than that.
Yes. Oh, it's been ages since I saw that one. Yeah.
It's a fun one too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You ever seen Evil Dead musical?
Yes.
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 They have a splatter zone.
Yeah.
There was splatter zone.
Yeah.
And
You wear white shirts and.
And I got a cell phone photo of me and Bruce Campbell and my stepbrother. He was in the audience, and afterwards we went up to him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's so blurry. It's like from 2006. The phone's very poor quality, but he was very cool.
Yeah.
And my stepbrother's like, say, "Hail to the king, baby," and then he's like, "I'm not your damn dancing monkey," but he still took the picture with us, and it was really cool. And yeah, I was Ash for Halloween last year. Just anything Bruce Campbell does is really amazing.
And he lives it up. The whole kind of B-star status. He lives it, and
That's him.
that's who he is. And
Have you seen him at any Comic-Cons?
I have not. He came to New York a couple weeks ago. I tried to make it.
Uh-huh.
I think he was signing his book.
Right, he did
Is it Union.
He did it here actually in
Really?
Huntington. Yeah, in Huntington Village, I think.
He must have been making like the rounds.
Yeah, it was like so random, like
Yeah.
this small quaint town, and Bruce Campbell. Like,
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it was Philadelphia. I'm sorry, it was Philadelphia where he came.
Okay, yeah, he was all over. Yeah, he's really good. But he was at Comic-Con. I saw him a few years ago. He was definitely living it up. Like really,
Mhm.
he was embodying that whole persona of like this B-movie celebrity. Like
He
he's the
should.
king.
People
And-
still love him.
And
He's the king
it
of the
makes
people.
him even more
Yeah.
that like you love him even more. For that.
Yeah. So good. So okay. Other than it, any other movies you guys are looking forward to in the fall season, or even Christmas?
Thor.
Oh yeah, gotta love his new haircut, huh? Chris Hemsworth.
Yes, because oh my god, that long hair was driving me crazy.
Yeah. But I'm actually looking forward to was his name Tom Hiddleston?
Mhm.
He's so good.
And he's another one too. Off camera, he's really funny.
Yeah. Nice. What are you looking forward to?
And you know what? I said this last time as well. Looking forward to / nervous about. I'm growing up. Still, I'm a huge Disney fan. I grew up. My favorite movie was Mary Poppins.
All right.
Love Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins Returns is coming out 2018.
I've heard who's going to play her.
It has. I keep forgetting her name. She was the receptionist opposite the lead.
Perfect timing. Perfect casting. It's Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Yes.
And
Perfect.
playing Bert. Yeah, she does look really good. Bert is Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Is that the Modern Family?
Hamilton. He wrote Hamilton.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, or I know Jim likes the soundtrack to that.
But I'm being
it.
such a big fan. Julie Andrews is my girl.
Nice.
I'm hoping it does it justice.
I was thinking it would be that older woman, the British actress, Thompson.
Oh yes, yeah, Emma Thompson.
Thompson.
Is it Emma?
Emma
it-
Thompson,
I
yeah.
thought she would have been.
Because she was a Mary Poppins like character. She was Nanny McPhee.
Right.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to get typecast, I guess.
And I honestly, I'm a grown man, I know, but I loved the first Nanny McPhee. I really did like it. Yeah.
I didn't see it. She had like a weird warts
Yeah.
and stuff. And
Yeah. And then as it goes on, she changes and she
Oh.
becomes beautiful at the end.
Oh, that's nice.
And then you learn that the beauty is within, and
Oh,
it's
of
nice.
course.
We all hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Sounds good. So just a little plug for the NYC Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
We're going to be at New York Comic Con beginning of October. I don't know the full details, but I definitely know we're going to be doing a slime lab. And that's where we teach everybody how to make slime, otherwise known as a polymer, which is the scientific term for basically just gack.
Yeah.
And so
And I think that's the 7th or the 8th that they're doing that. I think it's the 8th.
because it starts the 5th.
5th, yeah. Yeah,
New York
I
Comic
think
Con.
it might be the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's like a family day.
Sunday
Yeah.
is the fan. Yep, that's the only ticket I have. So good timing on that
Yeah.
one. Cool. So do you guys have anything to plug? Anything you want to mention?
No.
We'll be doing our 2-person show.
Yeah.
Trocadero in Philadelphia, Josh and Maya, live on stage.
Tickets will go on sale.
Yeah.
Telecharge.
And we'll be reenacting the Kristen Wiig Will Ferrell bit
yeah.
at the Emmys a couple years ago.
Uh-huh. So that scene in Gunshy when he comes into the town
Yeah.
and he's like, you get
out
out of here.
And with that, that's been Under the Radar. I want to thank my guest Maia Ceballos and Mr. Joshua Yoder. Thanks so much, guys. I'm your host, Randy Unger, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Fellas, I need you to count it off for me like Pete.